Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe our channel for the mystical meanings of the scriptures and to enjoy daily satsang with us. Currently, we are exploring the book Yoga of Perfection, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. This is a summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita of all the important shlokas from each chapter. So currently we are on chapter number 4 and we are studying shloka number 36. So Lord says, Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamaha sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrajinam santarishyasi. Even if thou art the worst among the sinners, you will verily cross the ocean of sins by the raft of knowledge. So, what a beautiful assurance God has given us, that forget about your past. If you sincerely repent and you move forward in a pure and sincere way, Lord will forgive all the sins. Doesn't matter what you have done in the past. The idea is to not commit those mistakes again and move on with purity. So this is a very profound shloka, because many people get stuck in the past thinking that they are worthless, that they have done so much bad that perhaps they may not be forgiven. But that is not so, as we can clearly see in this shloka. Shloka number 36. Shloka number 37, God continues, Yathedhansi samidhoa Agnir kurute Arjuna Jnanagni sarvakarmani Bhasmasat kurute tatha. Even as fire consumes the fuel, even so the fire of knowledge burns all karmas into ashes. So, beautiful shloka again. Lord Krishna is giving us the guarantee and the reason also, that just like fuel, fire will consume all, much in the same way the fire of knowledge burns all the karmas. So don't have any doubts. Know, if you are sincerely following this path, you are on the right track. Shloka, last shloka, shloka number 42 of chapter number 4. God continues, Tasmad jnana sambhutam yatstham jnana sinatmanaha Chitvainam sanshayam yogam atishthotishth bharata. So here God is telling Arjuna, therefore, O Arjuna, by the sword of wisdom, slay this doubt born of ignorance that abides in your heart, and having taken refuge in yoga, arise. So this is a command statement where without any doubt God is asking Arjuna to do his duty, to pick up his sword and fight. That is his duty, and God is guiding him that all this ignorance related doubts, remove them and now do your duty. So moving on to shloka number 5, it is known as the Yoga of Renunciation of Action, chapter 5, shloka number 10. God continues, Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangatyakva karoti yaha lipyatena sa papena padmapatrami vambasa. One who performs actions having renounced attachments, expectations of fruit as an offering to Brahman is not touched by sin, even as a lotus leaf is not touched by water. So this is a very profound shloka, the key word being renouncing attachments. So when you do your work and there is no attachment, it is considered selfless service as an offering to God. That is the purest kind of karma, and there is no sin or anything associated with it. That karma is pure and it absolves us completely. So this is the meaning of shloka number 10. Shloka number 11, God says, Kayena manasa buddhya केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्गत्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये. Yogis perform action by body, mind, intellect, and senses, renouncing attachment merely for the purification of the heart. So all these actions, this seva, these dedicated things we do are simply for purification purposes, renunciation of our ego, selfishness, greed, all those things that are embedded deep in our unconscious and subconscious. This yoga helps us to remove those impediments. Moving on to shloka number 18, God says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Panditah Samadarshinaha. The wise look with an equal eye on a Brahmana endowed with knowledge and humility, a cow or an elephant, a dog, and a Chandala or an outcast. So, this is a very important shloka. God is trying to tell us that the same Atman or consciousness resides in everybody, whether they are an outcast, a dog, an elephant, a cow, or a Brahmana that is endowed with knowledge. But it's important to note here that the practical applications and implications in life don't change. It's you'll still continue your activities. For example, you will touch the feet of a Brahmana, you don't have to touch the feet of a dog or an elephant, and practically you have to save yourself from the elephant if you see him. And we have to reach that state. So basically the practical application doesn't change in the world. Just know though that there is the same consciousness in everybody, and to treat them all with love and respect, and inwardly knowing that they all have the same atma or the same consciousness. That is what God is trying to teach us here in this shloka. Moving on to shloka number 22, God says, um, ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनेय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. The enjoyments obtained by the contact of senses and their objects are the progenitors of pain. They have a beginning and an end. Therefore, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, the wise one, do not delight in them. So, understand this is why God is again reminding us that sense pleasures are detrimental to our spiritual journey, just because they give us sensations and eventually they give us pain. That is the underlying deeper meaning. Shloka number 23, Shaknoti haiva yah sodum praksharira vimokshanat काम क्रोधोद्भवं वेगं सयुक्तः स सुखी नरः. He who is able to withstand the impulse of desire and anger even before departing from the body is verily a yogi, a happy man. So God is validating your efforts when we try to reform ourselves, when we try to do the tapasya and control our anger, control our desires, try to walk on this yogic path, God is saying, even it will take a long time, but whenever you are able to do it, as long as you are able to do it while in this body, then even before your departure, you will be considered a yogi. Yogi is one who is joining with God. His efforts are in union with God. That is the meaning of this shloka. And finally, of this chapter, the last shloka, shloka number 25, God says, Labhante Brahma Nirvanam Mrishayah Kshina Kalmashaha Chinnadvaidhayatatmanah Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. The sages who have destroyed all their sins, who are devoid of doubts, self controlled, and devoted to the welfare of all beings, attain nirvana in the form of Brahman or liberation. So, a beautiful conclusion to chapter number 5. In the shloka, he says, and every one of us can become that. It's a great goal to aspire for. But the sages who have reached that state, they have destroyed their sins by self effort. They are devoid of doubts, no more doubts. They are always poised and self controlled, and they want the welfare of everybody. Sarva Bhuta Hiterata. They don't want just benefits for themselves, they want it for all. They attain liberation, nirvana, which is the goal of human life. So, with this, we conclude our satsang for today, and we will be starting chapter number 6 in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.